Good morning and welcome to Friday, August 16th. And so the whole chapter is Exodus 18, so go and read it on your own. But this is Jethro's counsel to Moses. And you may think back, who's Jethro again? So Jethro is a Midian priest, and he is from the lineage of one of the sons from Abraham's other wife, and Keturah. And so we have every right to believe that he's a follower of Yahweh. And so he has good counsel. And he is also Moses' father-in-law. And so they meet up, and Jethro comes and he brings back Moses' wife, his daughters Zipporah, and Zipporah's two sons. And so we have every right to believe that sometime during the plagues, that for their safety, Moses sent Zipporah back and his sons to Jethro back to Midian. And so it's safe. They're going through the wilderness here, and so they're reunited, and they have a great reunion. And he notices that he kind of observes Moses, what he's doing all day, and Moses all day what he's doing is just settling disputes. So he is basically functioning as a judge of Israel. So from morning to evening, he's just settling dispute after dispute after dispute. And so Jethro comes to him and says, what are you doing? What you're doing is not good, because you will wear yourself out. And so he's giving him tips on being a leader. And so Jethro was a Midian priest, so he was in a leadership position, and so there's things that he'll learn. And so that's the first thing I want us to realize. We as younger leaders can always learn from our elders. There's always someone, no matter if you've been in ministry 20, 30 years, there's always someone that we can be learning from. And so it's very important to look at wise counsel as a leader. So let's look at his advice. The first advice is to teach them the laws and statutes of God. So Moses said, well, I'm the only one who knows these statutes. Like, God's telling them to me directly. So that's why I need to be the one doing this. And so I love this. Jethro says, teach them. And so just standing there to teach them all the statutes and the laws. And because of this, a couple things can happen. First of all, you are creating leaders. As you're teaching people, you're investing in leaders. The second thing is, as they know the law and the statutes of God, then some of these disputes can be resolved amongst themselves, because maybe they're arguing about something and they're like, wait a minute, what did Moses say about what God wanted us to do with our land or with our property? And so some of those things were resolved immediately. So the second thing is he was to pick men to lead with him, and men who feared God and who were truth and were full of honor. And so the other thing that we see here too is Moses is just not in a supervisory position. He is still leading. Jethro said, the big matters have them bring to you. And so that doesn't mean delegation and leadership doesn't mean abandonment of leadership. It just means that you are just providing oversight. So if you are a leader, there's some gems here, right? I mean, I've always heard about, we've seen this about making sure you delegate, and that's why it's always important to me in whatever ministry that I've been part of that I have teams, and most of them have been volunteer teams, that they help you lead, because you can't minister on your own. You can't meet the needs of 50 kids or even 20 youth, right? You need a team to help you. But that doesn't mean you abandon leadership. That just means that you provide oversight, and you still lead, and you still help out in different areas. So this is really good leadership tips here. So I encourage you to think about it. Think about, maybe there's some things that you need to tweak in your whatever. And we're all leaders, whether it's leaders in a church ministry, in a workplace, or leaders in our home, or leaders of a couple kids that you have, wherever you are, whatever your parameter, we all have areas where we lead. And so be thinking of ways that maybe you could tweak your leadership skills and abilities so that we could be more effective to lead for God. All right, amen. See you next week.